man. Y'all know who it is, man. Look, I gotta be the only person whose medallion has a chain. My chain has a chain. Y'all remember that? My chain has a chain. I don't know too many people that they chain got a chain, but it's real over here. Anyway, I even had to bring out the Boosie bracelet for y'all. Y'all know what the Boosie bracelet is? You know what I'm saying? I had to bring the Boosie bracelet out on it, man. We doing something nice around here, man. We doing something nice around it. But anyway, this premiere is not going like the other premieres I was talking about, you know what I'm saying, harmful foods, harmful things they're doing to you. In this premiere, I just want to tell you about this story that is crazy. It is a true story, and it's sad. You know, and this goes to show you how if somebody is told to be in an authority figure, that's why a lot of these evil people are in authority figures, or you know, are perceived as being in authority figures. Once people become authority figures, there's a lot of people that will listen to what you're saying, regardless if it's wrong or not. Regardless if it messes with their morals or not, they'll listen to you just because you're an authority figure. This right here is a prime example of how governments, lawyers, all these other people that's put out there to be authority figures is able to manipulate little girls like this, you know, children. This falls into pedophilia if you want to think about it. Just listen to the story, man. This girl is 17. Real talk. This is some pedophilia shit. Okay? This ain't just some weird dude on the phone. It's some pedophilia shit, man. You gotta understand what's going on here. But this goes to show you this is what happens worldwide in a lot of different situations dealing with authority figures and children. Look at the Boy Scouts. Why you think they doing that with the Boy Scouts? Them people that was touching on them kids was looked at as authority figures. Like this woman is. Let's get to the procedures. The procedures of the video. Man, I'd like to thank all y'all for coming out, man. Like I said, I'm on this Blue Widow. I'm sponsoring Blue Widow. I don't know if you've never smoked Blue Widow before. I never did, but I did last time I went and got some cake. You know what I'm saying? I'm also sponsoring these cats right here. You know what I'm saying? They got some damn good cake, man. Reasonable ass prices. You know what I'm saying? The best shit. Right? I mean, like I said, I don't really care if I get the highest THC weed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need it like that. It ain't that damn serious. But anyway, man, check this out, man. This is a video I did on my old channel in 2012. So I thank all y'all for coming through. I'd like to thank Pam for coming through. My premiere that I did at 3, I lost track of time and I wasn't there. That's crazy. I wasn't at my own premiere. So I thank y'all. Well, I thank you, Pam, for coming through. Sorry in the chat. You know, and I thank everybody else for looking at it when y'all do. But let's get to this video, man. Let me take my ugly ass off this motherfucking camera. Get your ugly ass up. Boy, if you don't get your ugly ass on fire. Fire. Me got to fire your ass up, boy. That ain't my bad. Man, y'all know I be on one, man. Fuck it, I'm on one. But anyway, man, let's go ahead and get to the procedures of this video.
The caller had suggested she bring in her fiancé, Walter Nix, who goes by the name Wes. This 43-year-old exterminator
It goes by the name of pedophile. Whack-ass motherfucker.
Is about to continue the interrogation. You left this middle-aged man with a naked,
She was covered.
with an apron.
She was
That bitch lying.
completely covered.
But as the video shows, Louise is tugging at the apron, which barely covers her top, and the sides of her legs are exposed up to her buttocks. What were you thinking?
I didn't think Wes
17, folks.
would do anything. I trusted him.
It's
That bitch lying.
the height of the dinner rush. Donna Summers leaves the 90-pound teenager alone and vulnerable in the office with the 230-pound Nix. Why couldn't you run out?
I was naked. I was scared. I mean, any normal person in that situation, they wouldn't have ran out.
You're convinced there's no way you could have done it?
There's no way.
Did you think about it?
I wanted to so bad. I wanted to run.
And you would have had to have run through the restaurant.
I couldn't have done that. I couldn't have ran out the back door. I couldn't have done anything. I couldn't bring myself to humiliate myself worse than I already was.
Humiliation, as it turns out, would be the least of her worries. Now it's
That's crazy.
Walter Nix who's following the caller's commands, having Louise drop her apron, bend over, stand on a chair. Then, as ridiculous as it sounds, he tells Louise to jog and do jumping jacks, to shake loose anything, the caller says, that she might be hiding. Incredibly, Nix complies with the caller's outlandish demands, and it's only the beginning of 2 more hours of torment. Why did you follow their instructions?
My parents taught me when an adult tells you to do something, that's what you do. You don't argue. You know, somebody smacks you on the hand, you listen.
Now that's sad, man. This is gonna make me go in there and tell my children, look, if an adult tell you to do something and it's not what I would tell you to do, or it seems like it's something that you need to be doing, you don't have to do it. I mean, that's crazy, because we do tell our kids, you know what I'm saying, to listen to adults. But that might be going a little too far with listening to adults. And she is 17. You know what I'm saying? Like, she ain't 10, you 17. I mean, I would think at 17, you know, when it's weird, when it's weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, that's crazy. That's sad, though.
And everyone, it seems, is listening to that voice on the phone. He even talks to Louise.
He told me if I loved this job and if I needed to keep my job, then I would cooperate.
According to Louise, when she fails to address...
But I am not saying that it's her fault. You know what I'm saying? I don't want nobody to think that in the comment section or nothing like that. But I'm saying, like, it'd be a different mind frame from a 10-year-old on opposed to a 17-year-old. You know, but it's just like, it's just crazy that it would go to that point and ain't nobody holding you down. Like, you would think most, I don't know, that's just wild, man. That's wild. And it's the whole, I mean, nobody else came back to the office that day.
Walter Nix as Sir, the caller tells him to hit her violently on the buttocks, over and over. Here, it goes on for almost 10 minutes.
He told me that
Now, nobody heard the butt smacking back there. Nobody did. Was she screaming while she was getting smacked or making noises? Like, this is crazy. This is McDonald's. You know how busy McDonald's is? I never worked for McDonald's. I used to come there and get food all the time, but I wouldn't work. I don't want to work for McDonald's. There was too much going on there. But still, McDonald's is always usually packed, man. So with it always usually being packed, it's crazy that this would be able to happen. What, 2-3 hours? You know, that's wild.
I was asking too many questions, so he was told to hit me. And I said, please don't do this. This is so ridiculous. This is stupid. Please don't.
But that would only make him hit you harder.
Yes, and more times.
By the end of the beating, painful red welts appear clearly on Louise's body. And during it all, Donna Summers keeps walking in and out of the office. Every time you hear her coming in, what happens?
He throws the apron at me and tells me, like, shh, don't tell Donna.
When you walked into the office, what would you see between her and Walter?
She was sitting on one side, he was sitting on the other. They weren't saying a whole lot.
And she was covered.
And she was covered up all the time.
But there's at least one occasion
That bitch lying.
when Summers comes in before Nix throws the apron over Louise. When we try to show Donna Summers the videotape, you say you didn't see her without her clothes on, but there she is. And you walk
Okay, we're not going to answer questions about
right past her.
Yeah, she ain't gonna answer that question because that bitch lied. Come on, bro. You saw that she saw her when she came in that office. That office is not big. So you came in that office and you didn't see that she was sitting right there butt naked. You did nothing. You went and got money out the what's her name. Like, this was a regular occurrence. And, you know, she passes by her husband at the house with underage butt naked little girls all the time, apparently, because she sees nothing wrong with what this dude is doing. You can't tell me she didn't see that, man. I don't care who, y'all just saw the footage.
You can't talk about this. Summer's attorney, who's off camera, won't allow her to respond. Why didn't you tell Donna at that point?
I begged her every time she came in the room, get me out of here. Please get me out of here. Donna, please, please. I didn't do anything wrong. Please believe me.
And she puts her head on your shoulder. And she told us she was saying to you, please help me.
No, she didn't. It's not what she said.
Couldn't you feel her head on your shoulder?
I don't recall that particular incident. I don't.
She says she's begging you to rescue her.
She never said that to me.
And every time Summers walks out of the office, Louise says Nix resumes and intensifies her torture, following the caller's instructions.
My soul just left my body. I just went numb to everything so that I could just survive.
Clinical psychologist Jeff Gardier says Louise's reaction is not uncommon.
It's almost an out-of-body experience. It's like they're standing right next to themselves as this whole thing is happening, and they can't do a thing about it. It's a nightmare where they can't wake up.
After more than 2.5 hours of dehumanizing treatment, Nix, again on the instructions of the caller, forces Louise to perform oral sex on him. You were a prisoner
I was.
and a victim of sexual assault.
Yes.
See what I'm saying, man? This story has went, whoa, like, man, nah. Ain't no way. See, now we're getting into that. I don't even know. Cause I have to, I don't know, man. We won't talk about that on camera, but dude to get fucked up, man. Like, for real. Hell no.
Almost 3 hours into Louise's ordeal, the caller tells Nix to hand the phone back to Summers and incredibly instructs her to bring in someone else. This time she ushers in Thomas Sims, a 58-year-old maintenance man who works at the restaurant. He gets on the phone with the caller, but...
And he's a non-pedophile. Remember that he's a non-pedophile. I don't know these people, but from the actions that people is taking, you can see what they thinking in the back of their head, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of times you know people, but you don't know them until they in certain situations, and you like, damn, man, why'd you do it like that? That let you know what's in their head, man. For real, I give you an example. You pulling a regular robbery, right? You just wrapping people up. You know what I'm saying? Getting the money going. You got the weirdo that want to be like, oh, let's rape the daughters and let's rape the mother and let's rape. You know what I'm saying? When you got niggas like that, they letting you know they pedophiles, rapists, and all of that. They letting you know. You should take heed to that. Be like, nah, bro. Even in regular conversations, if somebody say some rapey shit, now I done heard rapey shit. Oh, me, I done heard people say rapey shit, and I be like, bro, I don't get down like that, man. And didn't fuck with them no more. For real. Nigga, what up? Keep it pushing. Because I'm not supposed to get caught with no rape cases behind you want to rape somebody. Nah.
Sims refuses to comply with his demands.
Tom told me this man is asking for her to drop her apron so I can see her without that apron. And I said, do what? And it floored me.
Only then, Summer says, does she realize she's been had.
Yet again, that, excuse my French, that bitch lying. I'm sorry. She a bitch to me. I don't call females bitches, but that's a bitch right there. A demon. You know what I'm saying? That's a motherfucking devil. You looking at Lucifer's mama probably, man. She wicked, bro. That's wicked right there. You use that power to get a little girl molested or to get a 17-year-old molested. And you sitting up here talking free. Why is you out of jail? Why you ain't in jail? That's what I don't get. Catch me on camera selling drugs. I'm going straight to jail. I ain't even gonna be able to do an interview like that outside with regular clothes on. I will be in the cell until they decide if that tape is real and blah, 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 blah. Y'all know how it go with us.
I couldn't believe it. Could not believe it. I had been had like no other person had been had.
Soon, the office is crawling with McDonald's supervisors. On the video, you see the managers come in. They seem panicked.
I guess they realized it was so.
But the managers wasn't there for like 3 hours. Where was all the other managers at for 3 hours? Ain't that crazy? Because, yet again, McDonald's have a lot of fucking managers. So you telling me, for 3 to 4 hours, none of them other managers came back there? That's weird, man. But you ought to make this man back there.
Unbelievably wrong.
Only then does someone finally call the police. They arrive within 5 minutes. The Mount Washington police station, it turns out, is only a quarter-mile away from the restaurant.
You know, there's a lot of things in my mind that I think they could have done, and I don't understand why they didn't do them.
Buddy Stump is a detective with the Mount Washington police. He arrests Donna Summers' fiancé, Walter Nix, and he begins to try and find the caller, assuming that he's someone who lives in the area.
I said, this has got to be somebody on a payphone, maybe working with Winn-Dixie, and they're getting their jollies off of watching all the action and the police roll in.
But where the investigation will lead and who it will point to will stun everyone involved in the case.
I'm a Jew, he a Jew, she a Jew, we some Jews. Wouldn't you like to be a Jew too? Only if you're in the bloodline.
These strip searches.
The most famous of these incidents took place at a McDonald's in Mount Washington, Kentucky.
There was a videotape security camera had filmed. We didn't hear what the instructions were, but due to the actions that were had taken place, what the victim was doing in the video and stuff, it was pretty evident what each instruction was.
An anonymous caller, pretending to be a police officer, told the assistant manager that an employee had stolen some money.
He said, I'm Officer Scott, and he said, I'm with the police department. I'm investigating a complaint. It went directly from a theft into a drug thing.
Now, hold up. She allegedly stole money. And I don't get how the manager lady didn't know if she's supposed to. Why would a police officer call and tell you that she stole money from y'all? That's kind of crazy. I don't know. Let's listen.
So I was asked to search her clothing. You know, he would tell me, take her shoes, click them, take her shirt, shake it out. I know how it seems to people, but you weren't on the phone with him. The man has convinced 70 to 100 other places the very same thing. He's very good at what he does. Very good. He sounded like a police officer. And I'm thinking, okay, you know, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do.
Look at you. Notice how she said it sounded good, right? Now, that almost sounded like what Oprah said, that if a molester molests you right, you won't even know you was molested. Man, you gotta pay attention to these pedophile the pedophile lingo that these motherfuckers be having. And they let you know what they is. You just gotta be able to understand it.
He was getting some kind of satisfaction by being an authoritative figure and telling people what to do, and then realizing by the phone conversation that they were actually doing what he said.
He's telling me that I needed to get someone to sit with her while he goes and gets somebody to come in to pick her up.
The caller then asked the manager if she was married or had a boyfriend. She said she had a fiance. Then the caller asked if she could have her fiance come to the restaurant and assist her with the strip search of the victim.
He says, well, why don't you have him come up and sit there? I mean, you can trust him. So called Wes, my fiance, we were going to get married, and ask him if he would come up.
The manager goes about doing her duties of running the restaurant and leaves the fiance there in the office, and then the caller starts giving instructions over the phone of things that he wants the victim to do, and what he wants the fiance to tell her to do. Have her remove her apron and instructed to do jumping jacks and jog in place and several more things. She was still in high school. The kind of person she was actually graduating the top 10 in her class. And she was scared of being in trouble with the police, so she sort of just went along and did whatever the fiance told her to do because she didn't want to be in trouble for anything.
During all this time, I'm working. I'm running the floor, I'm getting change, and then when I would walk into the office to get the change or whatever I had to get, Wes would be sitting where he was when I left, and she was sitting where she was, and no one said anything.
After over 2.5 hours, Summer's fiancé, Walter Nix, did something that was unthinkable. Complying with the instructions of the caller, he ordered the employee to perform a sexual act.
There's no way that I could take away from what happened to her. A lot of people, look at you and go, well, you're a nut, you should be strung up. I've had it even said to me. But it's really hard because you weren't there.
The Milgram study showed us that most people would do that. If you structure the environment such that, you provide all the authority and the commands, just anybody might do this. But I do think this sounds worse.
You think this is worse than what Milgram did?
With the Milgram, there was somebody sitting right there and instructing them. If they hesitated, they could turn, and then somebody could encourage them, and they could sort of maybe psychologically leave that responsibility on that other person. But in this case, the police officer's on the phone. He's not standing there.
And that's a very good point.
You look back on it and you say, I wouldn't have done it. But unless you're put in that situation at that time, how do you know what you would do? You don't. You don't.
Over 60 other people did exactly as Donna Summers did.
Look, I ain't got nothing to do with them 60 people or Donna Summers. But if you put me in that situation, I'm willing to put my soul on it. That I sure in the fuck wouldn't have handled it the way y'all did.
Why is it so easy for us to obey orders even when we know they are wrong? Why are we willing to inflict pain on others if someone else takes responsibility?
There's nothing more difficult for people to violate a social structure which all participants have initially accepted. It reminds me of a situation that once occurred in South America. I was in an airplane. The pilot came into the plane. He was drunk. He was reeling toward the cockpit. Passengers looked at each other, but no one got up. No one said to the pilot, "You're drunk. We can't fly in this plane." There are a set of pressures that keep you in the role that you've initially accepted.
Now, this is going to show you the movie that they came out with talking about this story. But this story is deeper than just a story. This same dude did this to countless other McDonald's and other places too. And everybody fell for it. This is crazy. And it's true. If you can inflict pain on somebody and not take responsibility for it, a lot of people would. If you could rape people and not take responsibility for it, or molest people and not take responsibility for it, a lot of people would. This is why I said the police is needed to a certain extent. Not evil police, but just some kind of authority. Because without that authority, it takes responsibility off these people that want to go out here and do it. Because they're not going to have to take responsibility for what they did, because there's nobody that's going to make them. So that's why when you got police, man, rapes, crimes, and everything else going to go through the roof. Not saying that it ain't already going through the roof, but it's going to double because you have no kind of authority, period. Apparently Americans and people need authority. This is what they telling you. And if you don't listen to one authority, you listen to the other one. And if that authority is bad, you're going to listen to it. It's crazy.
Know what Friday nights are like. We We've got to be by the book tonight. You don't have a customer? I want you to clean, clean, clean. Let's get to work.
This is Officer Daniels with the police department. I have a woman here saying one of your employees took money out of her purse. You have a young lady who works at the register, about 19 years old, blonde.
Becky, come with me.
I swear I didn't take anything. I don't know what's going on here. I'm just trying to do my job.
Calm down for me, okay? You don't realize what kind of trouble you're in. We need to find the money, but I'll need your help till I can get down there. We really have two choices here.
He's saying he will have to take you to jail.
Or what we could do is have you strip search her right now.
I could strip search you here.
No. No.
Is this okay to be doing?
Oh, yeah, of course.
You're making a really difficult situation run very smoothly.
I'm just trying to do my job.
I didn't do anything.
I'm gonna need you to address me as sir, understand?
Yeah, listen to me.
Sir.
This behavior will not be tolerated.
What the hell is he doing back there?
I did a bad thing. That man's asking me to do things that ain't right.
Help me. Please stop talking.
You're almost like a real cop.
I'll do everything, that you need. Comply.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and stop it there, man. That's when I did my little talking part that I'm doing right now. But this is the updated version. I never got to tell you how that story ended because either I had that part and I think I didn't put it in or I forgot to put it in. Something was happening. I was making a lot of videos back then. But when they tracked down who was doing it, I think it was hold up, let me make sure. I don't want to get it wrong, but I think it was like a police officer, like an off-duty police officer or some shit like that. And he was at the store calling all these random places and getting them to, do shit like that. But at the end of the day, they caught the dude, but it just goes to show how we listen to anybody that's considered authority figure because we've been taught that. We teach our kids that. You know what I'm saying? But the cold part is we don't teach our kids to listen to the first authority figure, which is God. So we'll say, forget listening to God because to some people God ain't real. But you will still comply to the government and to the police because you feel like they're realer than God. When in actuality, they're not. They're just more visual. You know what I'm saying? They're not real. The image of these people that you see is not them. It's the image. It's the representation of them. Right? So their authority is unruly. But we'll listen to that all day long. So this goes to show you, man, they know that if you're not following God, you're going to follow something. If you don't believe in somebody, you're going to believe in something. Right? And they like the people that don't want to believe in God because now they can get you to follow any damn thing they want to. Because you don't stand for nothing. They understand that because every human has to follow something. It's human nature. Look at how it go, man. It ain't too many people you know right now that'll tell you, oh, well, I don't stand for nothing. I don't believe in nothing. I don't follow nothing. I don't like nothing. Nah. Somebody believe in God or they don't believe in God. You know what I'm saying? Or they believe in themselves or they believe in something, man. And they know this about us because they do experiments on us and they spend a lot of money to know how the human mind and the psyche work. That's where half your money go to. Not to trying to help out viruses and stuff like that, to make viruses, but not to help them out or to make your life better or to make you more healthier. They research how you do and how you act when certain things happen so they know how to take advantage of you and take advantage of your kids. The bigger thing is the kids. If they know they can mind manipulate you like that and they can get your kids to do something because you're an authority figure, they love that. That's how they corrupt kids. Look at the Boy Scouts. The Boy Scouts, them people was authority figures. And they molested a lot of kids. And there's a whole lot of other programs out there like that too. Them ain't the only places. That ain't the only place. Because they're authority figures. Right? That's how a lot of people be messing with people's kids, because they parents, so they'll listen to them because they're authority. Man, this is crazy. So, y'all just make sure y'all teach y'all people and teach y'all kids, man, to only follow morally right, things that people will want you to do that's an adult. If it's not fitting into your moral basis and you know it ain't right by God, don't do it. But anyway, man, I thank all y'all for coming through to my premiere, man. Boy, sorry about the other one, but we just maintaining over here, man, getting blessings on blessings on blessings. I thank God for that, man. We doing good over here. All praises to the Most High, off top, man. Me and the family, we chilling. Just trying to make it through this Cavassier, you know what I'm saying? I think later on tonight, we should be having the 9/11 panel. I don't know. I need to holler at sis and see what's going on. But it'll be at I'm Just Page. So y'all come through. Stay tuned. You know what I'm saying? And thank y'all for coming by. And y'all have a good day, man. And remember, if you ain't getting knowledge, you ain't getting nothing. I do this.